There are moments in history when time feels heavy, when you can sense in your spirit that something is shifting, that the world is not as it was yesterday. And I believe August of 2025 is one of those moments. For some of you, this will be the month when everything changes. Not because of politics, not because of chance, but because God Himself is speaking into your life. You may feel like you're wandering, like you're broken, like you've been overlooked or forgotten. Many young men in this generation are carrying silent battles, rejection in relationships, confusion about purpose, the weight of loneliness. But hear me. What looks like emptiness is often the preparation ground for destiny. What looks like silence may actually be God's loudest message. When God says something is about to happen, it isn't random. It's intentional. It's personal. It's meant for you. August 2025 isn't just another date on the calendar. It's a prophetic window, a season where 8 things, 8 signs, 8 turning points are going to mark the lives of those who are willing to listen, willing to act, and willing to rise. This isn't about fear. It's about awakening. It's about realizing that your future doesn't begin when the world validates you. It begins the moment you align your life with the voice of God. Courage doesn't show up when everything feels safe. It doesn't grow in the calm. Courage is born in the storm. And that's exactly why this moment matters, because some of you are standing at the edge of August 2025, feeling the weight of fear pressing against your chest. Fear of being alone, fear of failure, fear that you'll never measure up, and I want you to hear me clearly. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is the signal that you're standing at the doorway of something greater. Here's the problem. Most men mistake fear for a stop sign. They see it, they feel it, and they back down. But fear isn't a stop sign, it's a test. It's asking you, do you have the courage to step forward even when everything inside you screams retreat? Because the truth is, courage is not about feeling strong. It's about deciding to move even when you don't. And I know what you're thinking, but I'm not ready. I don't feel brave. I don't have it all together. Let me tell you this, no one ever feels ready. No warrior ever stood on the battlefield saying, "This feels comfortable." No man of purpose ever began his journey with perfect clarity. They stepped forward in the middle of fear, in the middle of uncertainty, in the middle of not knowing how it would end. August 2025 is going to test you in that way. Opportunities will come disguised as risks. Doors will open, but only if you walk through them without knowing what's on the other side. And if you let fear dictate your steps, you'll miss it. But if you choose courage, if you say, "I will not be ruled by fear, I will step anyway," you'll discover that God already placed in you what you thought you lacked. Some of you have been waiting for courage to feel easy, but courage is supposed to feel terrifying. That's the whole point. If it didn't scare you, it wouldn't change you. So don't run from the fear you feel right now. Lean into it. Because on the other side of that fear is the life you've been praying for. This August, courage is your calling. Not comfort, not safety, not approval, courage. And when you answer it, when you step forward trembling but unbroken, you won't just change your month. You'll change your destiny. Illusions are powerful, and they're everywhere. They're the images you scroll past on your phone, the highlight reels, the perfect couples, the smiling faces that don't show the pain behind the screen. They're the voices that tell you if you just had this one thing, a relationship, money, status, then you'd finally feel complete. And the tragedy is that so many men build their entire lives chasing illusions, only to discover they were holding smoke. August 2025 is going to be a month where God strips some of that away. And I'll be honest with you, it won't always feel comfortable. When an illusion breaks, it feels like loss. That person you thought was the one may walk away. That job you thought would define you might slip out of your hands. That image you've been clinging to, of who you thought you were supposed to be, may start to crack. And it will hurt. It will sting. You'll be tempted to think it's punishment, but it's not punishment, it's mercy. Because the worst thing God could do is let you keep living inside a lie. See, illusions keep you small. They keep you distracted. They keep you living for approval, chasing shadows, wasting years pretending. But when those illusions fall, you finally see what's real. You see who you are without the mask. And yes, maybe that man feels broken, maybe he feels inadequate, maybe he feels exposed. But that man is real, and you cannot build a strong future on a false foundation. So, when the stripping comes, don't fight it. Don't cling to what's fading. Don't waste your energy trying to hold together an illusion that God Himself is tearing down. Instead, let it go, because when illusions die, truth rises, and truth, no matter how raw or uncomfortable, will set you free. Young men today are suffocating under illusions, fake strength, fake confidence, fake intimacy, but this season is about authenticity. It's about God saying, I don't want the mask, I want you, the real you, the scarred you, the honest you. And once you step into that, once you stop pretending, you'll find a peace and a strength that illusion could never give you. So, as August unfolds, don't fear the loss of illusions, celebrate it, because when the fake falls away, the real has room to rise. And the real. That's where your power, your purpose, your destiny has been waiting all along. Purpose. That word gets thrown around so much that it's almost lost its meaning. But deep down, you know what I'm talking about. It's that ache inside of you that whispers, there has to be more than this. It's the feeling you get when you wake up, go through the motions, and realize you're surviving, not living. And for so many young men, that emptiness is the silent battle. You look around and it seems like everyone else has it figured out: career, relationships, direction. Meanwhile, you're left asking, what's the point of my story? Why am I even here? Here's the truth. Nothing in your life has been wasted. Not the heartbreak, not the rejection, not the nights you sat in silence thinking no one cared. Every season, every setback, every unanswered question has been shaping you for something bigger. What you thought was delay was actually preparation. And August 2025 will be the month where some of you finally start to see the threads come together. The awakening of purpose isn't a light switch. It's a realization. It's the moment you understand that the pain had a reason, the waiting had a reason, the wandering had a reason. But here's the hard part. Purpose doesn't shout, it whispers. And if your life is full of noise, distractions, and illusions, you'll miss it. That's why so many never find it. They're too busy chasing the temporary to hear the eternal. The awakening of purpose requires stillness. It requires courage. It requires you to stop running from your story and start owning it. Maybe you've been told you're too broken, too flawed, too behind. But hear me, your scars aren't disqualifications. They're credentials. They're proof that you've been in the fire and you're still here. And that endurance is part of your calling. Purpose doesn't come to the perfect, it comes to the willing. This August, you will be confronted with opportunities, with decisions, with moments that feel small but carry weight. Don't overlook them. They're not accidents, they're invitations. God is awakening something in you that's been asleep for too long. The man who knows why he's here, who refuses to waste another year, who steps forward with clarity instead of drifting with the current. The awakening of purpose isn't about finding a career. It's about finding your reason, and when you discover that, everything else begins to fall into place. This is your moment, not to wonder if your life matters, but to step into the truth that it always has. Integrity is a word people like to toss around, but very few actually live it. It's not about looking good on the outside. It's about being solid on the inside, consistent, unshakable, the same man in the dark as you are in the light. And here's the reality. August 2025 is going to be a season where integrity is tested. Opportunities are coming, doors will open, but not every man will be able to hold them. Because success without integrity will collapse. Blessings without character will become curses. You can hustle, you can grind, you can put yourself in the right rooms, but if the foundation of your life is cracked, eventually it's going to give way. And a lot of young men don't want to hear this. They want quick wins, they want shortcuts, they want to feel important right now. But shortcuts cut you short. Integrity is the long game. It's what keeps you standing when everything else is shaking. Think about it. How many people do you know who looked strong on the surface but fell apart because there was no depth beneath? How many influencers, celebrities, even leaders, burned bright and then burned out because their character couldn't carry the weight of their platform? That's what happens when image outruns substance, but the demand of this season is different. God isn't looking for men who can fake it. He's looking for men who can be trusted, trusted with responsibility, trusted with influence, trusted with relationships that actually last, trusted to be the same when nobody's watching. And here's the hard truth. If you can't be trusted with little, you won't be trusted with much. So August 2025 may strip some things away from you, not to punish you but to protect you, to test your foundation, to show you where the cracks are before the weight of destiny crushes what you've built. And that's not something to fear. It's something to embrace. Because integrity isn't about perfection. It's about alignment. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't have to juggle lies, who doesn't have to wear masks, who doesn't fear exposure because there's nothing to hide. You want real power, real stability, real freedom, then build your life on integrity. Because when the storms hit, and they always hit, talent won't save you, charm won't save you, image won't save you. Only integrity will, and the men who walk in it will not just survive August 2025. They'll rise in it. One of the greatest lies men are believing today is that they have to do it all alone. Culture pushes this image of the lone wolf, the guy who doesn't need anybody, who grinds in silence, who wins on his own. And while independence has its place, isolation will destroy you, because no man was ever meant to fight all his battles by himself. Even the strongest warriors in history had brothers by their side. The truth is, one of the deepest wounds of this generation is loneliness. Young men walking through life disconnected, scrolling through fake connections online, but going to bed at night with no one who truly knows them. And it's crushing them. Depression, anxiety, addictions, broken relationships, all of it is magnified when you're walking alone. But hear me, August 2025 is going to be a season where brotherhood rises again, where God is going to connect men not through competition, not through pretense, but through authenticity. Brotherhood is not about having a bunch of drinking buddies or people to hang out with. Real brotherhood is about iron sharpening iron. It's about having someone who looks you in the eye and calls you higher, who refuses to let you settle for less, who speaks truth even when it hurts. It's about walking with men who celebrate your victories without envy and stand with you in your failures without judgment. And here's why this matters. Your destiny is too heavy to carry alone. Purpose requires partnership. Integrity needs accountability. Courage is contagious when shared. The enemy knows this. That's why he isolates men. Because a man alone is vulnerable, but a band of brothers, that's unstoppable. So this August, don't resist it when new connections come into your life. Don't dismiss that man who shows up and challenges you. Don't hide behind the mask when someone offers real friendship. Brotherhood may not look glamorous, but it will save your life. And maybe you're listening to this thinking, I don't have brothers like that. I don't even know where to find them. Here's the answer. Start becoming that kind of brother yourself. Be the man who shows up, who speaks truth, who carries others when they're weak. Because when you live that way, you attract others who do the same. The gift of brotherhood is not just about friendship. It's about survival. It's about strength. And it's about stepping into the future knowing you don't have to carry it all on your own. Every man, at some point in his life, comes to a doorway. You can feel it in your gut, that sense that something is shifting, that the old way of living no longer fits, that the familiar rooms you've been sitting in have grown too small for who you're becoming. That's what August 2025 represents. A prophetic doorway. A threshold between the life you've settled for and the life you were actually made for. But here's the thing about doorways, they require you to move. You can't straddle both sides forever. You can't cling to the old and expect to step into the new, and that's where most men get stuck. They see the door, they even feel the pull toward it, but they hesitate. Fear creeps in. What if I fail? What if I'm not ready? What if I walk through and nothing changes? So they stay stuck in the hallway of almost. But let me tell you the truth. Hesitation is the thief of destiny. You'll never feel 100% ready. You'll never have every answer. Doorways are crossed by faith, not by certainty. And the prophetic doorway of this season isn't just about opportunity, it's about obedience. It's about trusting that the God who brought you to the threshold will also carry you through it. This is why August matters. The doorway is open, but it won't stay open forever. Some of you will be asked to release toxic relationships. Some will be asked to step into risks you've avoided. Some will be called to leave behind the comfort of hiding and finally own your voice, your story, your calling. And yes, it will feel terrifying. That's what doorways feel like, because they separate the man you've been from the man you're becoming. But think about this. Every great story, every breakthrough, every life that truly mattered started with someone walking through a doorway, leaving what was behind and stepping into what could be, and that's what's in front of you now. Don't waste this season staring at the door. Don't let fear write the next chapter of your life. August 2025 is your moment to move, to step forward, not because you have it all figured out, but because you refuse to stay stuck in almost anymore. So here's where it all comes together. You've heard the call, you've felt the stirring. You know this isn't just another video, it's a wake-up moment. Because August 2025 is not just about what's happening out there in the world, it's about what's happening in you. God is opening doors, He's testing foundations. He's calling you to rise, to walk with integrity, to surround yourself with brothers, and to step through the doorway into the man you were created to be. But here's the raw truth. No one can walk through that door for you, not me, not your friends, not your family. It's you, it's your choice. You can leave this moment the same, or you can let it mark the beginning of something different, something real, something eternal. And if this message hit you, if it stirred something deep inside, then don't just scroll past like it was nothing. Take action, step up. Let this be the moment you draw the line and say enough. I'm not living small anymore. I'm not hiding anymore. I'm stepping into my calling. And listen, I want you to lock in with me here. Like this video if it hit you. Drop a comment, tell me what spoke to you most, what door you're standing in front of right now. Because your words may not only mark your moment, they might be the very thing another man needed to hear. Share this message with someone you know is fighting battles in silence, someone who needs this reminder that they're not alone. And subscribe, because I'm going to keep showing up with words that cut through the noise and call you higher. This is your moment. Don't let it pass you by. Step through the door. Step into your destiny. Step into the man you were born to be.